In this video, we're going to take a look at this phone camera cage, appropriately named the Beastgrip Pro. So Beastgrip has been around for a while, but I have never owned a Beastgrip product, never had a reason to until now. I got this. I think it's awesome. So I thought I would make a nice up-close video of it where you can hold it as if you were in a camera shop and you were looking at it up close. So before I start, let me just say that everything you see in this video, there will be links to it in the description box down below. And some are Amazon links, some might be B&H links. Click on them. It's not going to cost you any money, but it kind of gives me a few dollars or a few cents towards this channel. Also, I don't do full reviews. I just like to do up-close videos of things that I bought and paid for with my own money and kind of give my thoughts and opinions and why I use it and why I bought it. So with that said, let's jump right in. And let me say first that when I was doing the research to purchase this thing, I seen some other YouTubers, as we all do, right? We go on YouTube and, look at products. I went to Beastgrip's website, and one of the things that I couldn't get a definitive answer on, and maybe I overlooked it, and that was, what is this thing made of? So that's the very first question I'm going to answer, because that's the biggest question I had. And that is, it's kind of a hybrid. This is like high impact plastic. This part here is high impact plastic, and the rest of it feels to be aluminum, and even these rods over here feel to be aluminum. So, this adjusts up and down. It adjusts in and out this way, and we're going to get to more of that in just a minute. So this is the front of it, obviously, and this is the back of it, and this is where your phone's going to go. And what's unique about this is that at least I've never seen any other phone camera cages, and I've had a few over the years. You're able to reach in here and push it up. And what I mean by that, and I'll show you real quick, I'm not gonna talk about this cage too much, but this is a small rig cage. I've had this for a few years now, and the biggest problem that I've had with this thing, other than it's real jiggity and stuff, is that to put the phone in, well, you had to push this up with your thumb and then put the phone in and somehow get your thumb out of there while you were putting the phone in. So this one, you're able to reach through from here and push it up and get the phone in there. Now I'm going to put a phone in a minute. I also want to say that this is kind of the generic all-purpose cage. This is not specific to iPhone 13 or iPhone 14. They do have cages for that. I have an Android phone, and this is supposed to be a future-proof cage that will adjust and move around as your phone gets bigger and the camera lenses are in different places or different configurations. So now, with that said, when this arrived, this part right here was in the middle position, and I moved it up to there. They give you, and I'm going to show you what came in the box. So I got this Allen key, which was good for that. I got this Allen key, which has a screw stuck on it. I can't get it off of there. And it came with a cold shoe mount. And the cold shoe mount, by the way, is aluminum. That is an aluminum cold shoe mount. And then it came with a bag with a few more screws in it. I don't know if the camera can get it. Looks like 2 screws for here, and it looks like an extra thumb screw for here or over here. So it's nice they include some extra parts with it. So the very first thing I did, and I've used this already today. Today is, we're in March of 2023, and I've already used this. Today was a snowy day here on the East Coast. Snowy in the morning, rain in the afternoon. I was able to get out and go to the lake and to some waterfalls just to do some basic video and kind of see how I like this thing. So also, I want to point out that this has a neoprene seal here, neoprene, or maybe it's silicone, probably silicone seal there that kind of butts up against your camera. And also, when you squeeze, and this is going to go up when you put your phone in, it raises up a cold shoe mount here. If you can see that with the camera. And now this cold shoe mount is plastic. It's made out of the, the high impact plastic that the rest of this is made of. This cold shoe mount that I just put on is aluminum. So this thing is modular, and you can use it. You can take this part off, set it aside, and you can use this just as a phone grip if you want to use it. And let's do that. Let's start off with that. So I have Samsung S23 Ultra, I guess this is. I had the S21, now I have the S23, and I'm going to try to do this on camera. It's a little awkward. It kind of goes in nice and easy. You just want to make sure it's in nice and flat. There, it wasn't in flat. You want to make sure it's in flat here, but you also want to make sure that it's not there. Just look at the end of it. So it's nice and flat both ways. Of course, I'm getting fingerprints on the phone already, but there you have it. You can use your phone, use this as just a phone holder, as a grip. You got the 1/4 on the bottom. If you want to put it on a little tripod, take it off, walk around with it. Just that alone right there is how I might use it a lot of the time. But if you're going to be doing some serious video, and by the way, I have some gaffer's tape there because I have some personal information on my phone case that I don't want to advertise on YouTube. So let's slide this on, and as you see, this is adjustable to where you want to go out to this lens, to this lens. Now it will not go to this lens, but that's okay, because on this particular phone I'm never going to use that lens for video, not for doing the kind of video that I'm going to do. And at the end of this video, after I'm done talking about this, I'll kind of explain why I purchased this. Now I'm just going to do a quick alignment here. I don't know if it's perfect, but just for all intent purposes of showing how it mounts in. But you do want to line that up, and this is a 37 millimeter. It's threaded, so it takes 37 millimeter filter step plates, or just a filter if you want to. But what I did purchase was a Beastgrip 37 to 58. Now this is kind of critical. This is another thing that I really wanted to point out, just in case you think you're going to get away without using a 58 millimeter being the big diameter. This is, and I already had this is a 67 to 37. So it's 37 here, 67 here, and this will not work. And even if this was down further, it would not work, because it's hitting here and it's also hitting here, and it needs to drop down in between this recess here. Now this is the Beastgrip step-up plate, and this is one that I already had. Now let me move the camera out of the way so that you can actually see these. This one really steps up. This is the Beastgrip. It really has quite a step to it. This one's nice and flat, but if you do have a flat one, it will work. And you can kind of see what I mean when I say it's got to be 58, no bigger than 58, to fit in that recess. And that is kind of why they're 58, which I think is kind of cool. I actually think this is really cool. It kind of steps out like that. So let's just go ahead and put that on there, because the way I'm setting this up right now is basically the way that I'm going to use it. So I do have a, what do we got here? Is this a Tiffin? No, it's a Hoya. We have a Hoya. This is a 58 millimeter variable neutral density filter, variable VND, whatever you want to call it. And what I thought was nice was I'm going to hold it with my right hand over here. That's going to be my main grip. I'm also going to steady it here, and you can kind of reach right around and adjust your ND filter, and that's really cool. Probably going to have, if I needed a microphone, I would, Got a microphone I can put up in here like that. This is a Rode mic. I use the DJI mic, the wireless mics a lot. Anyway, that's pretty much the setup. Now, the only thing to complete this setup is I definitely would put a plate on the bottom so that we can go to some sort of a ball head, tripod, hand grip, something like that. Now, I'm very partial to, actually absolutely love these PG Y-Tech plates. And if you haven't seen my video already, I did a video about these, and the card's up there. Actually, it's up in one of the corners of the video. You know where to look for it. So these are a quick release plate, and they have a button here. The button also locks. It's got 1/4-20, or it can be 3/8 on the bottom. It's a precision piece of equipment. They're not cheap, but they're very, very functional. They're very good. It's also an Arca plate if you just want to go to a regular ball head, such as it is right here. So this is great. You put this in here, you keep it in here, and you just clip in and out of that. But now here's the problem. Looking at the bottom, you can kind of see, and let me just show you this. This is probably going to be the piece of equipment that I'll use with it the most. This is what I was using with it today. This is the PG Y-Tech Mantis Pod, or Mantis Pod Pro, I think it's called. And these quick release plates also fit in here. So let's just put it in here, and so that you can kind of see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. And once I'm in here, you can kind of see the offset. So the middle is right here. And this phone is pretty heavy, and you can kind of see it wants to fall to that side. That's because we have all this weight from this and the phone, and it's off center. It would have been nice if they could have somehow put that 1/4-20 over here a little bit further to the end. But anyway, it's not there. It's not a deal breaker. But what I would do, get this unhooked. And I know this seems a little more extreme, but if you really want to balance something out, and in this case, it's a heavy phone, you're starting to put lenses on the front, you're going to want to do something, and this is kind of my workaround that I came up with. And all this is a small rig. This one's carbon fiber. I have aluminum ones, and this is a mount, another mount, and this mount accepts 1/4-20 on the bottom. So, and I'm just doing all this just hand tight, so it's not, if I was, going to go out and shoot, I would make sure I use an Allen key to tighten everything down. But now you can kind of see that when you put your, if I can get it on here, it's so hard to do stuff on camera. But now you can kind of see that we are centered more, and the weight is distributed right over the center of it, so that when you go to move this thing, and this is probably the thing that I'm going to use the most with this. Again, everything's loose here, because this will set up as a tripod. It can also be a low to the ground tripod, a regular stand-up tripod. I'm not going to talk too much more about this, although I will say that this is probably dollar for dollar the best piece of photo gear I've ever bought. This is the most versatile thing, and I keep saying I'm going to make a video about it, and someday I'll do it. But anyway, the handheld part of it is awesome. The other nice thing about the Mantis Pod is I'm able to slide a microphone in here. And what's nice about it is, for doing stuff with your phone, if you want to talk into the microphone, you can, and that just doesn't want to stay in there, you can flip it around back towards you for that way, and you can just real quick flip it right back around if you want to go into another mode where somebody else is talking. So enough about that. The only other thing that I can say I would probably use with this is I have a Tiffin Black Pro Mist. This is a 1/4 Pro Mist. I use these sometimes when I'm doing some creative stuff with people. Use these more on my big DSLRs than I do on the phone, but I do have 58 millimeter ones for the phone. So that's pretty much about it for this. And the only thing that I wanted to kind of finish off the video and say, why did I do this? What is the purpose of this? So what is the purpose of making this rig? Well, the purpose of it is, aside from my photography business that I have a catering business that I've had for probably about 25 years or more. And we like to promote it on social media. And this year I thought I would make a bigger push on social media for the catering business with Instagram and Facebook. And I'm going to shoot most of it with the phone, because that's how most of your little promos and things are shot. Just with the phones are so good now, you can, I'm not going to carry the R5 around just to shoot videos of food and things like that. So this is great because with phones, you can go from portrait mode to landscape mode real quick. But I wanted to have something that I could put the phone in that I'm not worrying about if it's going to fall down, something that's not too jiggity, something that's not like this small rig cage was that I had. This thing was adequate at best. It was really just not the right thing to be using, but dust on the lens. Anyway, that's the whole reason I did it, for social media. So if you're, I guess, a content creator, as everybody likes to call themselves today, this would be the perfect item for mounting your phone. Hey everybody, if you like this video, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm harmless. Come back, check out more stuff that I bought and paid for with my own money that I kind of like to showcase up close and let you see it just as if you were in a camera shop holding it. Because that's the one thing when we buy stuff off the internet, we have to rely on, the pictures that we see and the videos we see. And oftentimes, this is not a fancy video, but it's just, oftentimes we don't get to see stuff up close. And everybody likes to make a fancy video with sound design and sound effects and all that kind of stuff. This is just me showing this product up close. Hey everybody, thank you for watching and have a great day.